Got here on the 1st and pulled in, and we have an okay site. There's not a lot of shade. Right across, we're across the street sitting right now in some shade, and our actual, here's Ken, our actual site is over there. But for right now, we're getting some shade. And we had an issue where, we pulled in and we dumped our tanks, and about a week later we realized that there was a horrible smell in our pantry cabinet and the 3 drawers that abuts the bathroom, and it was a smell of ammonia and almost like urine, I thought for sure. So we ended up started to troubleshoot. Took everything out of the pantry, looked for any kind of rotten food. I started Googling an ammonia smell. They say a lot of times the refrigerator can give off an ammonia smell, but that was on the opposite side of the coach. So we knew it wasn't that. And usually they say that smells outside. And, we went outside, didn't smell anything outside. It was just inside in this one pantry cabinet. So we, not even in the bathroom or under the sink or in the toilet. Like, I know it's gross, but I stuck my nose down in the toilet as we were flushing the toilet. It still didn't smell. So we went and got some borax and some Dawn dish soap and did that kind of regimen, thinking maybe the tanks were just too full or something, or I thought maybe the pipe runs between those walls and it was the vent. I went on the roof, I checked the vent, it didn't seem blocked. So I called Grand Design and they were saying, leave it to a skilled person, have somebody come out and look at it. So we did call Mobile RV Tech. And that was a Friday. He came out the following Wednesday. So on and off, we kept flushing the black tank and cleaning it, like thorough cleaning, like with the Dawn, the borax, letting it swish all around, not driving it because we're parked here for a month, but just like driving it or just rinsing it out, running the black tank flush, and the smell would kind of come and go. And as the tank would fill up, it would get worse. So the guy came out, and we did not empty the tank for like 2 days before he came. We were putting totally extra water in on our flushes, thinking that maybe we were trying to conserve water. I mean, I would dump extra water in. I had a 5-gallon bucket I'd fill with soapy water and throw it down there. He came on Wednesday and we couldn't smell anything. It was the craziest thing. So he checked the vent, he checked inside the inverter. He took that apart because he said sometimes that can smell. And I smelled what he was smelling, but it was wires. It wasn't this horrible, strong sewer urine smell. And it wasn't even like poop smell, it's just urine. So that is another weird. So then he said, well, he'd be out in this area for the next couple days. If it starts smelling, give him a call. That night, it couldn't have been 4 hours later, we started smelling it, and it started to get bad. So we didn't empty the tanks, we just left it because we thought he'd come back. And he ended up coming in 2 days after that. Well, on Thursday then. He came Wednesday. On Thursday evening, we were sitting out, and I started to see dripping from the underbelly. And I captured the drippage, and it was urine. So I called him back, and I said, we got a big problem. I said, it's dripping now under the underbelly. The smell inside was terrible. I opened Tide Pods and put them all around. We slept with the air on. That really helped. And so he ended up coming out, and we weren't here, but he dropped the underbelly and dropped the tank in the boot. That was the connection between the toilet and the tank had a crack in it. So that is the problem. So we ended up he ordered the part. It's supposed to come in today. He was going to come out this afternoon to put it in. I don't know. I haven't heard from him, so I'm not holding my breath. But anyways, at least we found out what it was. Factory. And the fact that like this was really about the first time we let the tank get that full, then it seeped out. So that I don't know. So we'll see when he comes and the fix. So I'm going to show you a little bit of underneath, as long as the underbelly is dropped, what it looks like. This is our dropped underbelly. And this is where we had the leak dripping from. Was the black tank. And then it dripped down and it pooled in here. We've since washed all that.
I'm sorry, the old one doesn't lock in place like the new one. The new one kind of locks in place.
Okay.
So this was out, I'm sorry, in like this. And when the pipe came up, this was over, and that's where your leak was.
So then all in all, we're about done, hopefully, with the repair. I did email Grand Design. I sent them a copy of the invoice and just what the problem was in case anybody else has the issue. And that's about it. We ended up having our whole black tank replaced. Grand Design had sent us a new one. We had an issue in September after we had been traveling of a sewer smell in the Imagine again. Coming up from underneath the sink, hot water tank area. Of course, it didn't come up where we had plugged under the pantry. We had plugged that area all where the wires come up. So the issue wasn't there, but now it was finding its way up into the coach through underneath the sink and the hot water tank area. So we had called a mobile RV tech who came up, and actually in Georgia. This was in November of 2022. So he diagnosed it by fogging. He checked all the vents, everything like that, all the AVV or AAV vents, all those were fine. Checked the roof vent was fine. He ended up fogging the black tank flush, and with the underbelly dropped, and he could see where all the fog was coming from around the base of the toilet around the black tank, that there was an issue. And then also the connection from the black tank to the flush valve. So what had happened was we called Grand Design. They sent us a new black tank. We still were working with the warranty ticket of 2021 that we had those issues. And the toilet connection from the stem down was about a 1/4 inch off from the actual black tank connection. So that was where the sewer gases were leaking out. Now, whether that was a factory mishap of a wrong connection, or we had gone to one of the Grand Design rallies in 2021, and we had a pump out, 2 pump outs done. And at the time we had asked the guy about pumping out. So just to continue the story and end it, I had to stop before. So the pump out guy assured us that it would not harm our tanks. We specifically asked
because of the fact we had a Class A and went to a rally, and the guy that pumped us out there had said that he could suck our tanks inside out. These tanks on the 22 MLE are a very thin. When the guy got the new tank and he had to drill the thing, it was about 1/8 of an inch depth. So they're smaller tanks, they're thinner tanks, and I would, I don't know, 50-50, whether it was not drilled right from the beginning or the tank pump out caused the problem, shifting of the hole, collapsing of the tank. So, but we have our new tank in. Everything seems to be running perfectly. We've been in Florida since December, January, like 2.5 months using it full time. So that's the saga of the black tank. But Grand Design replaced it, paid for the repairs, and could not say anything better about them and their customer service. I know sometimes they get a bad rap, but for us, they really came through. So now, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button and subscribe. And we'll be posting more.